It is full of pomp and splendor, Kuomboka prestigious ceremony. And just now we continue bringing you live pictures from the Mulunga Royal Village. And as you can see in our background, people are heading to the Nayuma Harbour, where anytime from now the Nalikwanda Royal Boat will be docking. But before that, obviously, we'll show you some live pictures of the Nalikwanda Royal Boat in their planes. But just now, you know, this broadcast is sponsored by different companies that are associating themselves with the Kuomboka ceremony through your public service broadcaster, ZNBC TV1. So we call upon the Zambia Alliance for Agroecology, and we hear what they have to say.
We relate to sustainable food systems, and we have this campaign that we are running, which is funded by SIDA through the Alliance for Food Sovereignty in Africa, AFSA, which is called the My Food is African campaign, or in this case, My Food is Zambian. And our link actually relates to how food relates so much to our culture, which the ceremony, of course, Kuomboka ceremony and other traditional ceremonies in Zambia are part of. You know, our cultural expression also comes through food. We believe that Zambia's food is quite diverse and also has this rich cultural connotation. We are coming from a cultural background where we had a lot of food, diversity of food, and most of these are celebrated at these at the ceremonies, and also are part of the culture that I spoke about. So the culture, the perpetuation of culture, the food links us from, it links the past to the present to the future. It's part of the perpetuation of the culture. Just like the Kuomboka ceremony is also linking people. We also have the fact that, cultural ceremonies are an identity. You know, we know that Kuomboka is for the Lozis, and Chwala is for the people in Eastern Province, and we also relate the same with food. Food is also a form of cultural expression, and as long as we continue to embrace our food, we are also perpetuating part of this culture. And we can also we cannot necessarily delink our food, our variety of food, our local foods from the other forms of cultural expression, such as the ceremonies. One of the things about the campaign, the My Food is African campaign, is that we are trying to get, the aim basically is to try to get Zambians interested in their own local foods. And this is for many reasons. The first reason being that it's part of who we are, our identity. When you lose the food that you are producing, when you lose the food, the physical food, when people stop eating things like chikanda, for example, and it is lost, you're not just losing the physical chikanda, you're losing also the traditions, the cultural connotation to chikanda, and also the knowledge, the indigenous knowledge that comes with harvesting the chikanda in the forest, choosing the best chikanda, preparing it. All that is lost along the way. So it's very, very important that we preserve this knowledge and we preserve these foods for the future generations to come and know them. The other reason we are promoting this food is that when you consume local foods, for example, you are supporting the local farmer, because they are the ones that grow this food. The people that are harvesting the chikanda that I talk about, for example, are smallholder farmers. I mean, they are people in the villages, so they get an income out of that. Take that away, you take away the income. So the more we consume of our local foods, the chihuahuas, the kalemblas, the lumandas, we are also putting money into the local economy through and supporting the local farmers to continue growing. Our local foods are also climate resilient because they are God gave us these food, most of them. They grow here, they've adapted, so they adapt to changes in climate change. You find that as weather changes, these crops are more adaptable than the exotic foods. So they are easier in terms of building resilience for the farmer. And lastly, they are also very easy to produce without chemicals. I think there's a very big debate both internationally and at continental level in Africa around toxic pesticides, chemical pesticides, the fertilizers and their harmful effects on our soils, the pesticides and their harmful effects on both the human being and the environment around which people are producing food, and how our foods are so much easier to produce without any of these toxic chemicals. You don't need to spray chihuahua, you don't need to spray lumanda, you don't spray most of our local foods you actually don't spray, and because of that they are a healthier choice, but also offers a wide variety of things that you can eat from. It's not one food. It's in Zambia, when you go to Matabeto, for example, the presentation they give you is 5 vegetables. I mean, who eats 5 vegetables? It's because we have so much to offer. If on any given day we have so much. Part of our connection to the Kuomboka ceremony is that, you see, the ceremony, like any other traditional ceremony, connects people. It connects people, it connects communities, it brings different people together. It is a place for celebration, for affirming our rights as a people to our traditional ceremonies, bringing together different stakeholders with different interests, but also showcasing to the rest of the world that this is who we are. So you find that even as Zambians, when there are traditional ceremonies like the Kuomboka ceremony, you find that everybody goes there. The tribe at that point does not matter. Everybody congregates, we all aggregate together, we have fun together, we remember together, we socialize, we become one people through these traditional ceremonies. And for us, especially that we are promoting an African-based or a local-based economy, a local-based food system, a local-based cultural system, we are very supportive of traditional ceremonies like the Kuomboka. Sustainable practices in the food system are actually very beneficial. I'll allude a bit to the issues around health. I'm very passionate these days around health issues, both health in terms of the human body and also the environment. So when food is produced agroecologically, that is without chemicals, and also considering the damage that we do to the environment when we produce, transport, market our food, you'll find that it does not contain chemicals. That, like I said, which means that we don't get exposed to these toxic chemicals that enter our bodies. And you can see these days the escalation of non-communicable diseases, which are attributed a lot to the kind of foods that we are consuming. So and also, sustainable practices also prevent the damage to the environment. When you spray your chemicals on a cabbage, for example, you're not just killing the pest or the disease that is on the cabbage. Everything else that is living, including yourself, if you took it, you would die. So you are killing everything else, including beneficial bacteria, beneficial microorganisms that help our environment. These days, when you move around, you see quite a lot of, you don't see quite as much of the bees as you used to see, those the ladybird beetles that we used to see, the beautiful ones that would normally come to a field of, for example, beans. We don't see them as much. We don't see that color anymore. The butterflies that would hang around, your fields. It's because every time that we are using chemicals, we are killing off something that is living, that is not intended for that chemical to kill. So for me, that is really the critical aspect. The other aspect is that when we are sick, economically we are unproductive. So they say a healthy nation is a wealthy nation. Where we are going with this extensive use of chemicals, especially the highly hazardous pesticides, as they call them, is a situation where we'll have a very unproductive population because of non-communicable diseases. So all these contribute to to economic development, but also sustainability. We want to pass on a better world, a better environment to our children and their children. But with at the rate at which we are going, we are likely to pass on a damaged environment to our children. We are very keen to partner with, people that organize these traditional ceremonies. We were privileged to have been invited to the Ikubi Bana Munyati Namala last year, and it was a very big and important occasion for us because we participated with the local people. We celebrated the food. We also presented. We got some farmers from Chirundu, for example, to go and present what they grow, what they eat, and it was a very good cultural exchange and also a place for celebrating our food and for exchanging knowledge, for sharing of seeds. It was really great. So our appeal, especially to the Zambians, is that let us promote our own local foods and let us attend these traditional ceremonies. For the organizers of these traditional ceremonies, we would like to see the variety of Zambian food displayed at these ceremonies. You can imagine if there was somebody that was just showcasing all the Zambian foods from different provinces at these ceremonies. It would be amazing, not just as a for people to consume, but also it would be a good, beautiful sight, and it would promote our tourism as part of gastronomy and the kind of programs that currently the Ministry of Tourism is promoting.